Nintendo released the Switch 2 last year with a 7.9-inch LCD screen, which means in 2026 right now you're being asked to spend $450 on a handheld with screen technology from 2010. They're holding back the better screen so that they can sell you the Switch 2 OLED for an extra $100 in 18 months. That's the problem nobody's talking about. You're being set up for the double dip. Here's how I know this is the plan. Now, Nintendo released the original Switch in 2017 with an LCD screen, and 4 years later, Switch OLED was born. Better screen, same console, but another $350 purchase if you wanted the upgrade. This isn't just Nintendo though. Apple's been doing this for years, holding back features so they can sell you the Pro version or next year's model with the thing that should have been in this year's version. It's the tech industry's favorite move, and Nintendo just learned it. But here's the thing and the good news, you don't have to fall for it because right now there is a better option sitting on shelves and even online marketplaces that costs half the price and plays 1.5 billion games. I'm talking about the original Switch and the Switch OLED. Let's talk numbers. The Switch OLED costs $400 brand new, but here's where it gets good. Used Switch OLEDs are selling for $200 to $250 on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. I mean, it took me 5 minutes to find this listing. Switch OLED, 4 controllers, Super Smash Bros., and Untitled Goose Game, all for $200. That's half the price of a Switch 2, more than half even. And you're getting a console with an OLED screen that Nintendo won't put in your Switch 2 until 2027. And sure, the charger in that listing looked like it went through a war zone because the cord is just, I have no idea why it's doing that to the cord, but you get the point. There are deals everywhere if you're willing to look. And to top it all off, the original Switch has sold over 150 million units. That's the third best-selling console ever. That's just behind the PS2 and Nintendo DS. But you know what that means, right? There's an absolute massive library of games you can play right now. No waiting for developers to even catch up. Just years and years of proven games. Now you might ask, what about Switch 2 exclusives? That's a fair question. Yes, the Switch 2 will have new Mario, new Zelda, new Donkey Kong. And if you absolutely need to play those games on day one, then yeah, you're stuck buying the Switch 2. But let's be real here. Are you really gonna spend $450 and an added $80 just to play Mario Kart? That's $530 for one game. Meanwhile, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, that's $40 used, and it's the same game with slightly older graphics. And I know there's a bundle with the Mario Kart thing, I get that, but I'm talking about the logic here. Nintendo's strategy is relying on FOMO, which is fear of missing out. They want you to feel like you need the new thing immediately, but the truth is, the Switch 1 library is so massive that you could spend the next 2 years playing catch-up and you're never gonna run out of great games. But here's what really gets me. Nintendo launched the Switch OLED in 2021, bigger screen, better battery life, vivid colors. It was everything the original Switch could have been and should have been, and fans loved it. So when they announced the Switch 2, everyone expected OLED to be the standard, right? Instead, we got a 7.9-inch LCD in 2025. What the f***? Were they limited by the technology of our time? It's not like OLED technology is cutting edge anymore. I mean, your phone probably has an OLED screen. Budget Android phones have OLED screens. What? Here comes the truth juice, folks. Nintendo did not include it because they're planning the upgrade cycle. Switch 2 now for $450 and then Switch to OLED in 2027 for maybe $550. And if you're the kind of person who wants the best version, then you're paying $1,000 total over 3 years. That is the trap. Which brings us to the crossroads. If you're budget conscious and you just want to play great Nintendo games, buy a used Switch OLED for $250. You save $200 and you get a better screen. You also get access to almost a decade worth of games. If you're rich and you need every new release on day one, go ahead and buy the Switch 2. I am not here to stop you. But know that you're beta testing an incomplete product and the version you actually want is coming in 18 months. And if you're smart, wait it out. Let the early adopters pay that full price. Let Nintendo release the Switch 2 OLED, then buy the original Switch 2 used for $250 when everyone is stuck upgrading. Or heck, just stick with a Switch 1 and save your money for games instead of hardware. Nintendo's betting that you'll pay twice for the same console. We're smarter than that. The Switch One isn't going anywhere. The same with the Switch OLED. The library's massive, the deals are incredible. So unless you need day one exclusives, save your wallet. That's all for today. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Toodaloos.